Okay, so where do you work?
I work now Old Street.
Old Street.
Yeah.
You work right by me. I work in Farringdon on Old Street.
Yeah.
So we all work in the same circle.
Really?
We work in Asia.
Oh really? Oh wow. What do you do?
Close.
What do you do?
Now marketing.
All good
manager.
there.
Marketing.
Yeah,
And I'm an accountant.
Second
Accountant.
weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, my new job. Second
Really?
weekend. Yeah, so I'm like fresh.
See, I'm a creative at heart, but I'm a quantity surveyor by trade.
It's a good job. You guys
It's a good job, but I don't like it.
really.
QS. QS done.
Yeah.
Pays the bills though.
Pardon?
Yes, exactly.
I just
Yeah.
I'd rather win the Euro Millions.
Yeah,
I hear it,
I think
man.
everyone wants to win the Euro Millions.
Innit?
That's right.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, we've been
Who's
winning, but we
winning?
just don't know who's winning.
Who's
Is
winning?
it black people or white people?
No,
That's the
it's
question
white
we
people.
need
Trust me, I searched them.
You reckon?
It's white people.
You searched it.
No,
of
the
course.
ones who've been secreted. Because somebody
Yeah, some
won
are secretive.
some of the big ones. I'm like, are they black or white? Because white people love to tell.
Yeah.
And black people are like, they didn't tell it.
Yeah.
Nah, I
family
feel
member.
I feel like I'd have to tell.
Would you be public with it? Like, would you go, you know,
No.
to like the newspapers?
Nah.
And be the one holding the check.
I might wear. If I was to do that, I'd wear a mask.
Yeah.
There's
Like,
two options.
Mask.
They give you two options. Either you go public, and that means everybody knows, or you just keep quiet and nobody knows. They won even tell who won.
I got quiet.
Yeah, quiet.
Me riding that car.
Yeah, but then it's family. My family's big, so people. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah. Next you know, someone that knows someone that knows someone knows Dan that's got the money. So, yeah, you know, like,
see me, like, I would be so unaccessible, inaccessible.
yeah, man. So this is episode
58.
58. 58.
Wow.
85, great.
Wow.
And we're here with a special
great.
guest.
Yes.
You'd like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go first.
You didn't rehearse it when you came.
No, I'm freestyling today.
That's it, man. Natural vibes. You love
It's
that.
all vibes.
I'm Sade. Sade did that.
Hey, love that.
And Canny, also known as To Be Canny Musa on Instagram.
Okay.
Okay.
Amazing.
Love it.
And what do you guys do? What do you guys do? Tell us.
Is that matching?
Well, I'm an
t-shirt?
accountant, but
You
I
look like it.
do a little bit of creativity in the sense
Oh
of
my gosh.
influencing. So that's
Wow.
what I'm kind of into at the minute. So
Okay.
that's
Okay.
what I do.
Wicked.
And how long have you been, accounting for?
More than 10 years.
Okay.
Okay.
Please don't come to me for any financial advice.
Hold on.
corporate
Why
accountant.
not? Oh, okay.
Wow.
I think that's what people forget is that there's corporate accountants and actual accountants that do your taxes if you're a business and so forth. And when you say accountant, everyone just thinks, oh, can you do my taxes? And I'm like, no.
But corporate though.
So what can you do? Then?
Corporate.
I can do a budget if you need a budget. I can
Okay.
forecast for you. I can do your VAT if you're in an international company.
Okay.
So stuff like that. So
Okay.
more
All right. Cool.
more just on a bigger corporate scale rather than a individual basis.
Okay.
Because I guess there's more legal information you need to do for somebody who's an individual
Yeah.
rather than
Yeah.
a business.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Oh,
Amazing.
that's interesting.
You,
man.
Sade, what do you do?
So now marketing manager.
Okay.
That is sick.
Marketing,
Thank you guys.
head of marketing.
By day marketing,
Yeah.
and outside of that, photographer.
Wow.
Okay.
Amazing. And how long have you been doing photography for?
Unofficially for about 12 years,
Really?
and officially since 2020. Yeah, so a couple of years now.
Quick question. Do you remember your first camera that you bought?
Yeah, it's like a Sony A230. It was like basically I asked my parents to buy me a camera, like the same one that I was studying with in college, and then I've had that. I've been rocking with that for 10 years.
Wow,
Amazing.
that's good, you know.
That's good.
10 years.
Worked all the
The
tricks.
OG,
See-
the OG catch. You know when you just get like, this is the one that got me to where I am.
See,
That's
it's the person behind the camera, not the camera.
That's it.
I heard that.
We kind of, I guess, became closer friends through photography. So I used to take pictures. So I would always say, it's the camera.
the camera.
Yes, the person, but the camera
Yeah.
does.
It does help, but then you need the eye.
Yeah.
Yes.
You need the eye. 'cause-
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I was gonna ask, how did you guys like meet? talk us through the story.
That sounds interesting.
It's an unorthodox situation.
It's a crazy story, and then we rekindled our friendship.
We like crazy.
Let's go.
So we like something
In short, we got moved to by the same guy and got invited to the same event. And we met there, and as two people I met through the same person. Can't mean one of them. But I'm tight with these girls now. Like, literally, lifelong friends. So,
You guys are good, you know, because some females,
it would have been lots
From
of
my
you
experience.
guys are both the same event.
yeah.
like that.
Was that calculated?
It must have been.
Was that calculated?
Of course it's
I think
calculated.
that we would talk because I think sometimes this is a personal assumption that men don't think that women will say hi to other women.
Yeah.
They'll just be like, "Oh, I'm just at the party, have fun." I'm like, "Hi, who are you?"
And I'm like, oh, your
Why
dress
are you
is
here?
nice.
Tell you for free. It's only the men that underestimate women. I was raised by women. You don't underestimate women at all on any front.
So then, how did you guys find out that you was talking or you had spoken to the same person?
I don't remember. It was like conversation on the way
I think
home.
it was conversation literally on the way home.
It's always on the way home. Oh my
There's
god.
like one of my other girls, the same situation. I saw her, same guy, and I saw her at the club.
Is this disgusting in you guys' lives? Is this disgusting in your lives?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. We're like over a friend.
Yeah, that's it. I was
Yeah,
like,
okay.
well, he's got good taste in women. Like, I was just saying.
Okay.
I hear it.
This guy, man, treacherous.
Yeah.
Way.
Yeah. No, but that's dumb though. That's dumb. Like,
Yeah.
why would you gonna? If you was talking to two,
I don't
maybe
think he was calculated.
This is what I'm saying.
think he was.
He could have been using us just to fill a space as well. So
That's
he could have been talking to
Yeah, but-
multiple women and just saying,
why would
"Come
you
to this
do that?
event."
Some people
Okay,
get
would
kicked.
you,
They
if you
probably
were
won't
speaking
get
to,
kicked out of that.
not that you would speak to multiple men, but if you were speaking to multiple men, would you invite them all to come to the same space?
Absolutely not.
Hell no.
Absolutely not.
I'm just saying. I'm just
Women are
saying.
smart.
No. No. Unnecessary
They are.
fighting.
They are.
Yeah, exactly.
Calculated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, because there's always going to be one bold guy like, yeah, that's my woman. Excuse me?
What?
Do you know what I mean?
Party shot.
You know what
And
I
they'll
mean?
start coming to you saying, "Pick one." I'm like,
Yeah, it's mad.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you built your relationship from there. That was the starting point. I'm
Yeah.
Like acquaintance, and then a few years
Acquaintances.
later.
guessing. Yeah.
linked
And then
up.
a few years later, we rekindled our friendship. And
So were you modeling at the time? Prior to
I was doing more styling. So I was more of a stylist then, and I was doing more photography as well. But not a lot of my work, like photography wise, was published anywhere. But I worked with stylists who featured in Vogue and so forth. So I was just
Wow.
in there,
big.
bits and bobs.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like that kind of vibe. That's where I was at.
Can I ask your accent? Was
Yeah, I was wondering that as well, you know.
I have a very mixed accent.
Yeah.
I'm Zimbabwean.
I was gonna say
Okay.
But I went to an international school
So,
in Ireland, and then this is my accent.
Oh, wow.
that. You know what I noticed here? Everyone that goes to international schools they
Has
just
an
come out-
American.
Yeah, because
Accent, yeah.
they just watch TV or something, innit? They just get it from the
No,
TV.
do you know what? My international school was predominantly Mexicans.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
so it was
interesting.
Mexicans, Irish, and then Spanish. So I think you would just
mad.
pick up an accent, a mixed accent.
How did you
Yeah.
feel being amongst mostly Mexican, Irish, and Spanish
It
people?
was really hard because I was the third black person in
Yeah.
the school,
Yeah.
and there was one young girl, then me, and then a senior girl. So there was nobody to ever hang out
Oh,
with. So
no.
I think moving from a mixed school to just one color school,
Yeah.
I struggled because a lot of girls had never really interacted with a black girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think my first week I was calling my mom saying they think I don't know what a microwave is.
Really?
Wow.
You see.
Wow.
Anyways, let me not even start. You don't know what I'm like. You know what I'm
It's
like.
quite hard. So I think I spent the first month calling my mom saying, somebody asked if I lived in a tree.
Oh, for crying out loud.
my God.
Yeah.
And this was in
In Ireland.
Ireland,
Yeah.
yeah.
But you'd be surprised that a lot of young privileged girls don't grow up meeting women of color anywhere.
Yeah, they
and when
don't.
they do see someone of color, they are curious and they do ask the dumb question. And you're like, but I'm in the same space as you. You've seen me press the microwave. You've seen me open the fridge.
It's that ignorance there. Like it's like, all right, I'm all for someone asking questions because they're trying to learn. But if you're asking it from an ignorant mind or an ignorant head, then I'm just like, well, you ask that,
you'll get met with ignorance.
You
get met with ignorance. You get raw ignorance.
Coming from Zimbabwe, I didn't have that issue.
Yeah, of course not.
My other white counterparts, I never had that issue, so it was quite weird. So I never met it with hostility. I just went to my mom and was like,
Fair enough.
People are weird.
Do you know what? I think that foundation for you was good because I think maybe because we grew up in London.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of, whenever you come across someone like that, it's automatically you just start feeling triggered because it's like, well, why are you asking me that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Though, you go out of London and you don't go even just like, I don't know, like a little small town just off of Norwich or somewhere.
Yeah,
you'll be surprised.
Even in Norfolk, they're like that. Yeah,
really?
My family's from Norfolk and they're like that. Not in a bad way. It's just because they don't know. They don't know. They've never seen you, and they're just like,
like you don't know. But do you live in a tree? Really?
There's that too.
But then you have to remember all the stuff that is advertised or shown on television of black people is suffering.
It is suffering.
So if you keep seeing that, you just think that, oh, you're coming from suffering.
Yeah.
This is a privilege.
I understand, but there's also something called comprehension and reasoning. Like,
but not everyone's got it, and
not everyone's got it. But no, but like, okay, I understand what you're saying. I'm just going based off the "do you live in a tree" comment.
Yeah,
I'm wearing clothes. I'm clean.
Yeah.
You can see that I can function in society. Yeah. I'm having a conversation. I'm in the same class.
Yeah.
Why are you asking me if I live in a tree? Like, for me, that's pure ignorance and that's wrong. Like, you know what you're asking is wrong. And I don't like the fact that sometimes as black people, because we don't always like conflict when it comes to other races, we give it a bly. Like, what do you mean by that?
But I mean, like, I don't always think it's a bly because like I feel like sometimes when you hear that, like people say something like that to you because they want they're trying to trigger you or they want a reaction. Sometimes they might think it's a joke amongst their friends. It's not a joke.
But that's a bly though, my bro.
But this is what I'm saying. It's kind of like, rather than just reacting to it, it's like you kind of work out whether it actually affects you that much.
No, I understand, but sometimes no. But then, how do you address the issue? Because for me, I'm with you. Like, obviously, sometimes you need to meet people and you have to conduct yourself in a certain way. But at the same time, you know what you're asking me. So I have to meet you with ignorance because if I don't, you're gonna keep doing it.
But
and then we're gonna have a problem.
And we already know that we have to work again, like that extra bit harder for someone to just understand the basics. Someone that's not from our background to understand the basics.
Yeah, but okay, remember my story in my previous workplace.
Yeah.
When I was doing a specific job and we had to get vetted because it's high security and everything. And I got asked, somebody made a joke and said, "Oh, I'm glad to know that you're not a part of the such and such county lines gang."
Yeah.
I simply asked them, "What do you mean by that?"
Yeah.
Till this day, I'm still waiting for a response. Because I had to meet him like that. Because if I had laughed along with it, what's the next joke?
Yeah, that's the next.
Do you get what I'm saying? I'm on site. The Michael Jackson's playing. This guy is saying, "Oh, I bet you can dance like Michael Jackson. All black boys can dance like Michael Jackson." Sorry.
I've had situations like that. Workplaces and race is just another thing. But I remember I went into work and had my afro out. And then the next day, I put a hairband in.
Yeah.
This woman goes to me, "Oh, you changed your hair again." And it was the last time I was going to tolerate it because I was like, I literally put a hairband. Do you man have hairbands? You know what it is. It's like, it's okay. Yeah. So I went over to her. I was like, yeah, I put a hairband in it. Since that day, she's never said a word to me about my hair.
Because she felt cute.
And that's what that told me, that you knew what you was doing.
Of course.
It wasn't like I'm curious or anything like that.
Exactly. And
you knew.
This is it in a certain way.
And this is what I'm. This is not that you meet everything with violence or you be ignorant or you play to the stereotype. But sometimes you have to meet ignorance with ignorance, but in an intelligent way. Because I remember even in that last workplace when I handed in my resignation and left after a while, the person that said it to me, he said, "Oh, you know, I really liked working with you. You're a good guy. Let's stay in contact." But it got a bit awkward towards the end, didn't it? So you know what you said was wrong.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Most of the time they know, but they've just not been corrected.
Yeah,
exactly.
People are afraid to correct them.
And this is what I mean by the blight.
I guess you have to weigh out your battle.
That's it. It's
that
true.
person sounds like they would have just continued, even if you said something.
Yeah.
So I think it's figuring out the person first and
That's
then
it.
saying, okay,
Yeah.
what you said was like inappropriate and I don't accept it. Please
That's
don't
it.
do it. But
That's
there's
it.
some people who purposely do it because they want the reaction from you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just realized as well. So we asked you about your accent and your background, but we've also got someone else who's got a different upbringing as well.
Mix and blend.
Yeah, mix. So
In the mix and the blend.
tell us about your upbringing as well.
Fully Nigerian. Born in Austria, Vienna.
Really?
Yeah, so
Wow.
I speak a bit of German. Not as
Guten
good as
Tag.
I That's really good. You want an accent and everything. I know. Oh yeah. All that. 9.
Dan can speak like 3 languages.
That's
fam.
right. Yeah. And then
Dankeschön.
Dankeschön. That was really good.
Dankeschön.
Dankeschön. He got it right.
Oh,
See, I was listening in
you always
school.
does. You always does.
No, that's,
Have German in school.
we did actually.
Really?
We did, but I didn't actually. That's Guten Tag and Dankeschön as well.
As far as it goes.
You've got nothing else.
Yeah. And then I grew up here. Well,
Wow.
from age 7. I'm 30
Wow.
now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow.
That's the time.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Interesting.
Nigeria,
It's interesting. Yeah, I feel so
Nigeria,
boring. I've lived
Austria.
here all my life.
Why do you feel boring?
Because I've just lived here all my life, like in London.
It's just
You
a
know?
privilege that
It's just a
comes
pri-
with
yeah.
just being from here, innit? Like, it's just like, I don't know, you think to yourself, like, right, I haven't really been
Yeah.
nowhere, or
But I do love to
certain-
travel and
Yeah.
see different
No, you
cultures,
do.
and you know,
Yeah.
I'm always
Yeah.
trying to go somewhere if I can.
I want to go to Nigeria. I want to visit Zimbabwe. I heard Zimbabwe is beautiful.
Zimbabwe is
Yeah.
I
lovely.
heard it's
Yeah.
beautiful out
Very
there.
lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to Gambia.
Right.
That was interesting. Gambia will make you be grateful for everything that you have over here.
I've
I went to
heard
Kunta Kinte's village.
Yeah.
I saw the young school children. They weren't even asking for food or money. They were asking for pens
They just want to
and
learn.
books. Do you know what I mean? You know. And then I've been to Egypt, which was an eye opener.
Yeah.
I've been to. I think those are the only African countries I've been to, and then I've travelled other places. But
Yeah.
I really want to go Ghana, Nigeria, Zimbabwe. I want to travel to Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
I want to go to Uganda.
Uganda.
Yeah.
I want to try Uganda. I heard it's nice out
It is
there.
nice,
But yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Amazing. So do you not remember what your first shoot was?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Like
Was it
where it
Croydon?
was?
Yes, everything is in Croydon.
Oh,
What were we doing? No, I'm really trying to think what our first shoot was.
At the time, Kanye was doing like YouTubing.
It was Box Park, no?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Fox Park. No, yeah. That
It was
day.
Box Park.
And round the corner from it, near Anytime Fitness.
No, but we did
Oh,
Rita.
around that, around the I there.
Not
yeah.
to-
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But then I was thinking, was that before Rita or after Rita?
After Rita. Rita from Backchat.
Yeah, Rita from Backchat.
We did a shoot with her as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does Rita from Backchat sound familiar?
You know her, Chris.
Short hair.
Short hair.
Tall.
Yeah, she's tall.
Rita or Reva?
Rita.
Reva.
Reva.
Yeah, I was
sorry.
thinking
I like
Oh my
Reva, yeah.
She's
She's fiery, isn't it?
She's so lovely.
I love you. My bad.
Oh, my days.
Yeah.
Yes, Reva. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many photo shoots have you done to date together?
I don't know. I don't think we keep count.
Yeah.
We don't actually keep
going.
We just be like, oh, do you want to shoot?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I need to shoot. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go shoot.
Yeah,
So-
I think there's an art in the chemistry between the
Yeah.
photographer and the model as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Sean will tell you. Sean's done quite a few shoots in this time.
I feel like my personal photographer, Charlie.
Yeah, she should be
honestly.
everyone's person.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Like,
brilliant.
really,
If I've
really
seen
good
all
at
the
it.
photography you've done for even Sean,
Yeah.
let alone
Wicked,
yours as
wicked,
well.
wicked.
But it's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
But there is a
Did
real
you?
chemistry
Can I
that
ask
has
a
to be built.
question? Did you do the shirt? No, the blazer.
No,
shirt?
no, she didn't do that.
Just wanted to find out.
Do you
Because
remember the one on the?
he keeps
the-
getting
on,
on to me
on
about
the on the bars? Do you remember the one you were kind of like sitting up on the? Well, you had your
No, it
hand
wasn't.
up.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay,
remember
okay.
that one. No,
Was it that one?
No, it wasn't that one.
No, you've done so
Because
many.
I've done that one, and then I think that kind of got me out my comfort zone. I was thinking, when I was looking at that picture, I was like, these lot, they're going to get onto me, you know. But that's when I was like, alright, cool. It is what it is.
You have to own it though, isn't it?
That's it, man. When you're modelling,
you just have to accept everything.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, you know, you're always going to be either perfect or not perfect.
It's not perfect. I mean, art's subjective, isn't it? You see the beauty in it if you want to see the beauty in it.
Yeah, but then you'd be surprised how you might see something as perfect and somebody else might not see it as perfect.
Yeah.
So I think you just have to be like, that's the picture.
That's it. Yeah, that's the picture.
That's the
Yeah, I'm with you.
I can't remember how we got speaking.
Was it Instagram?
It was Instagram, but I'm trying to think what photo was it? Was it a photo or I remember you messaged me and you was like, either you messaged me or I messaged you. I can't remember. But then we was trying to sort out a date for ages.
Yeah.
And then we couldn't find a date. And then I think, was it during COVID or COVID then hit?
It was around that.
It was around that time.
Before?
It might have been just before actually.
Yeah, just before.
Yeah.
Like early 2020.
Yeah. And I was linking up, and then the whole time I was thinking, I've got to act like I've been doing this for time. Like I can't tell her. I can't tell her that this is my second shoot.
No, you should, because you know sometimes photographers will give you poses to do or just help you.
I've done some shoots with Sean. And I've done some of my own as well. But like sometimes I feel really stagnant. Like sometimes they'll tell you just keep moving, kind of.
It's like, what do you want me to do?
I'm kind of.
Shannon's really good at helping you with that. That's one thing I love about her. She'll find things about you and then get you to interact with that. That's one thing I like about her is that even if you're feeling low or down, she'll always find something to make me laugh. So then I'm like, okay, back into the groove.
That's good.
It's important to have people like that.
Finding somebody who can look past whatever is going on with you at that moment of time to get that picture.
Yeah, that's very important.
Honestly, it's amazing art to it.
Good shoot.
It
was like we came away feeling like, this is nice.
Like, there were so many. Like I felt like because we got so many pictures and you sent me so many. I was thinking, so how am I gonna put this all over Insta? And I was putting them all over Insta. And someone was like, you saved the rest of the timeline for us. Like I was like, I hear it. But you know when there was too many good pictures, I was just like. Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta do that, man. Sometimes don't listen to people. It's your Instagram,
man. It's true.
Put up your pictures.
As a photographer, what's your biggest pet peeve when you've sent the photos to someone? Is it them editing them?
If they edit it really badly, like usually most photographers don't allow that. At the beginning, I didn't.
I found out the worst way.
Oh no! Like at the beginning, I let people do it. I was like, I just want to give you pictures that you would like of yourself. I want, like, my main thing is I want that person to come away feeling confident about who they are without having over manipulation. So I guess like if they edit it really badly, I'm like. It's not my work.
Do you edit? What do you use to edit? Photoshop.
Photoshop, Lightroom. But before I never used to. I
used to push her to do it because I could do it. I was like, I don't have the time to do anyone else.
I love Photoshop, man.
So I was like, no, do it, make it a package.
It's good. It's true.
Just want people to like look good naturally.
Charge more for your photos when you use Lightroom and Photoshop.
So, I encouraged her to do the editing more.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, she did.
You do have proper friends in it, like I like that, man. Listen. I'm just watching the dynamic. I'm clocking everything. I'm just saying, Rocky.
It's good. You can feel.
Yeah, trust me. No, because sometimes people will come and they say they're friends, and you're looking like.
Yeah, be friends for long in it.
Friends, do you know what I mean? Like,
relationship.
Do you see what I'm saying? But no, it's nice. It's nice.
So when was the first time you were presented with your billboard?
Tell us about the billboard moment.
So how that started was the picture was a birthday shoot. I planned to do a birthday shoot because the last few years I've just been saying I want to celebrate my birthday with expose pictures. I was like, why not? And I know she doesn't really do like raunchy pictures but she was like, I'm gonna open up to this because you're the only one who asks for this. So we took some pictures and I posted my pictures. Life went on, and then a couple of months later she messaged me, said, I want to submit your picture, and I was like, okay. I was like, okay. And she's like, then I was like, which picture? Then she's like, oh, your birthday pictures. And I was like, okay. Then I was like, where are they going to go though? She's like, oh, possibly on some billboards. And I was like,
possibly? She just slapped that one in.
Across the UK.
Wow.
At first I was like, then I was like, oh, it's okay. So then I think the only query that I really had was which picture, because I was like, okay, my mom, my nephew, my sister. But most of my family are quite positive, so I was like, okay, whatever. So she picked a picture, and then she submitted it, and she got featured.
Wow.
So I'm just the person who was in the picture, but it's her work.
I don't know how to say it.
It's both of your work.
Both, that's what I was gonna say.
You are the art. This is the artist.
Yes. There you go. There
I
you
know,
go.
but without her, I would still be on my Instagram page.
But someone else could have picked up the picture.
That's it.
True.
There you go.
That's it.
So that's how that came about.
Oh, that's wicked.
I love that. It's mad because I've always said, I want my stuff on a billboard one day. And then it was my partner that actually said, I saw this submission, babe, do it. And I'm like, okay, I'll try. We'll see how it goes. And the thing is, like, Kanye has worked so hard on her confidence over the years. And it's, as we know in society, standards of beauty and everything like that, it is how it is. And I've seen her grow so much over the years. Like, this was the second lingerie boudoir shoot that we did. And even the difference between that and last year was incredible. So I was like, I want people to see, like,
keep doing it, because you never know, one day Rihanna might just be strolling through London and boom, Fenty deal. You see what I'm saying?
They're like, we've been watching your stuff for times.
I'm surprised, like, even Shadow's friends who have seen me through her page do comment and like message me privately and say, oh my gosh, you're such a inspiration. I'm like, I'm inspiring who?
Nice, really.
So sometimes you don't realize that you have a positive impact on certain people. So
that must be the best feeling though, isn't it?
I still struggle with that.
Really?
Because
I was even going to say as well, like, like imposter syndrome, I get that as well. And I remember seeing some of your stories about going to the gym. And like, even when you don't feel like going to the gym, go to the gym. And I think at that time as well, I was like, when you just want to go to the gym, but for whatever reason, every excuse you're just picking up, you're just like, I can't bother to go. And then I think I was just scrolling, watching stories and whatever. And you was talking and you were just basically relating to what I'm going through right now. So I was like, you know what? Tomorrow I'm going, fam. And I think I messaged you as well. And I was just like, I was like, And I was like, keep going, man, keep going.
And you never know who you're gonna help. That's why it's important to keep
that's
going.
why I always try to be as positive or show even the sad sides of my personal life, because who knows, somebody else could be like,
do you know
I feel shit.
Keep it up, because it's do you know what, with all this online internet, it's like no one's real.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's all a facade. It's all like, look at all the money I'm getting, or look at the holidays I'm going on, or look at. No one ever says, walk into work and it's another shit day.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be here. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm tired. Help. Do you know what I mean? So it's refreshing when you see like organic content like that, when you're just actually being yourself. And if you're able to influence people by just being yourself, you're a bigger influencer than you think. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because you're not influencing people to just be fake. Or to just have a certain type of lifestyle. You're influencing people to be themselves, and it's okay to be yourself. And you're comfortable. Do you know what I mean? Like,
being confident with themselves, because you spend like 99% of your time with yourself.
That's it.
And you have to be authentic with it.
Yeah, literally.
Just be how you are. If you don't like something, you don't like something.
And that's it.
That's what makes you
Exactly.
It's true what Dan said about you spend so much time online nowadays. Every week I see my average screen time pop up. And it just makes you realise how much you do actually spend on Instagram. I spend it scrolling, and then you see images of what are pushed to be the perfection or the perfectionist ideal of what a woman should be, or what a man should be, or what this should be. So it's really important to be authentic. And remain who you are.
Have you ever noticed yourself doing this thing where you'll be scrolling and you'll be like, alright, I'm coming off, and somehow you're just back on it.
2 seconds later, you're back on it.
You're just like, what? I don't actually remember clicking back on it. Like, do you know what I mean? You're just back on it and scrolling. It's crazy how, remember we was watching The Social Dilemma.
Yes.
And the algorithm behind
crazy.
Keep the point of social media is to keep you on the phone scrolling, and the algorithms behind how much time you spend on the post. Okay, it knows that you like that, so it's gonna push more cat photos or food pictures, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, social media is weird, you know, because I find that I'm no longer really on Instagram too tough nowadays, but Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter.
Oh my!
But that's the thing. If it's not Twitter, then it's Instagram. If it's not Instagram, it's TikTok. And for other people,
I don't even want to start with TikTok because I heard this is crazy.
It took me like 2 years. I had like so many people say, "Jump on TikTok." Is your
it's on my phone. I've got it, but I don't scroll through it.
No, don't open it because it's death trap.
Really?
Because you know, it's weird. It's like the content on TikTok it's different. So it's like people just doing normal stuff, and you're getting a peek into their life, and you're just like, oh, what's that person did today?
I remember when I first created my TikTok account. I wasn't following anyone, but it shows you just the homepage where you can kind of scroll through people, and I was just seeing a whole load of nonsense. I was thinking to myself, is this what I can see without having to follow someone? Like, this is just the algorithms, how they're
just pushing through,
just pumping these feeds into people. It's crazy.
I was even gonna ask as well, or not ask, but say, so the billboard isn't the first bit of work that you've had published, is it? Okay, can you tell us about that?
So it was I've had, where did it start? So in 2020, just before then, I joined a group called UK Black Female Photographers. So because there's a gap in the market, black people is last, but we're actually first. And so the founder set that group up, so as part of that, and then they mentioned about having an exhibition. So I was like, imposter syndrome. I'm like, I can't do that. I've not even launched as a photographer, and I was like, you know what? Be quiet, just do it and see what happens. So when I got that, I then did the exhibition. It was amazing, and then my work got into the Guardian, and I was like, "What?"
Wow!
Off of the back of that exhibition,
that's crazy.
Then I did a few more, and then my work ended up being in a magazine, amateur photographer magazine, and that's twice now. So this year in July, around my birthday, it was they approached me again and said, "Yeah, we want to put you in a magazine." Blah, blah. I was like, "Huh?" I was like, "Me?" Wow. So it's just mad, seeing
really good.
What happens when you say yes to yourself and you try, even when you're nervous or even when you're doubting a little bit and unsure. Exactly.
So what would you say to people that have been thinking about picking up a camera but they haven't because
just do it.
I know what they're saying. I was going to say, I know what they're going to say, because just do it, because that's what.
So I should get a camera.
Just get a camera,
because you lot already call me Angle Man Dan.
Yeah, so get a camera. I don't know why you ain't got a camera already.
Can you imagine the Instagram Angle Man Dan? Angle Man Dan.
Exactly, bro.
I might just.
The thing is, I think in anything, if you don't push yourself, just to take that one step, you don't know what you're shutting your way yourself from. Now I'm looking back, thinking of all of the things that happened since I said, okay, let me try this as a side hustle, see what it's like. I could have said no to all of that, and I look back and think, okay, my path may have been different, but then it wouldn't have been this, and I'm grateful that I was able to say yes to myself to even just try. You know, if I didn't get that exhibition, okay, next one. That's the worst that can happen, and it's not even that deep.
It's inspiring, man.
And saying yes to yourself is also opening up more opportunity within yourself, because you figure out what you like, what you're into. So if you ended up hating photography, you find an avenue maybe in the filming industry that you like. So I realized I like post-production, so I prefer editing. But I was like, it takes up too much of my time. But I love editing. So there's so many things that when you find a passion or something that inspires you to do something new, it may not work out, or it could work out, but it also opens up more.
It's inspiring, because, you know, I do freelance graphic design in my own time, but I've been told to push it so much further than I do. But it's just the imposter thing, because I'm self-taught like a lot of people, but it's like I already know there's people that are trained graphic designers, and they get paid loads of money for their work and stuff. And when I think about what I do, I think, can I provide what someone else can get if they're paying a certain amount of money for it, rather than the small change that I asked for? Do you know what I mean? And sometimes that just shuts me up, because it's harder. It's harder than you think sometimes. You ladies have really unlocked something special. No, because the amount of people, including myself, that have a talent or they want to do something and push it further, but they don't because they're battling with their own mind, and it's like, I'll just try it another day, or do you know what? Let me just chill. It's a real thing, you know.
It's a real thing. I've even had it with photography because I studied it in college and that was it. I haven't studied it since. I didn't do it at uni. I never actually wanted to be a photographer. I just liked making people feel good about themselves and getting that shot. And that was it. And that's what, you know, it took 10 years of me doing that for fun until one of my friends said, "Oh, do you want to take pictures of my wedding?" And I was like,
I remember you
Bridezilla, nah. And she was like, "Oh, just do what you do. I don't want anything too staged." And I was like, "Are you sure? I don't have to do this." And it was the registry wedding with the close family, and then I did it, and it turned out to be really good. And everyone's like, "Are you a professional photographer?" I was like, "How do I even answer this right? I don't." I guess. And then from there, I was like, "Okay, let me just try." And I think you have to remember, I think for you as well, no one has Angleman Dan's hands like you do. So only you can do it. Do you know what I mean? No, but the reality is, cool, there's so many graphic designers out there, fine, but there's 7 billion people on this planet.
Wow. You just spoke life into me, man. You know, you feel yourself charging.
Because even Sade, like, it took you a while. It took you a while to even launch your website as well, didn't it?
Yeah, it took a while. What I mean? And I was doing that by myself. And I'm no coder or anything like that. I was just like, YouTube, check, in between my old job at the time, like check. And I was just like, okay, let me try it. And it does get frustrating. It's like, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I don't have the money to pay someone to do my website right now. So I'm like, we'll just try. And then 2020 happened. I was like, so you wanted to launch, and then COVID came. Right then, I don't know what to do. And then I started doing online shoots. Just trying, like
webcam shoots. How does that work?
It was like I just get someone to either do like a webcam or Zoom, and then I was like taking my camera and doing this. And
that's actually very smart. That's such an innovative, so different.
And they were great as well. Like I feel like when you said that you was gonna do it, and then you did it, and I saw it as well. I was kind of thinking like, well, when you said webcam, I'm thinking, how's it gonna come out? Because I was curious, and then I saw it, and I was like, at first I didn't even realize that it was actually through a screen.
Really? Yeah. Was it? What did you take it on your laptop or?
I took it on my camera, but other
No, sorry. I mean, the person. Do they turn up on your laptop? And
so I get them to do like a Zoom or a FaceTime. At the time I had a Mac, so then they'll be on the screen and I'll just be like there. But other photographers, they'll just take a screenshot of the screen. But I did it with the camera, and then I was like,
see what I mean?
Like, you know, can you move this way? Put your arm up and stuff. And I'm like trying to do that with a screen. It was so. It's like
really good pictures.
And that just shows, like, you know, when we're in the world where you can watch YouTube and make your own website. You can learn how to use the camera and stuff like that. You can, again with COVID, learn to adapt. You know, that didn't stop you from doing your shoots and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So I just feel like, again, where we're moving from where people are saying, oh yeah, go to uni and go to you know, learn to do this and that, to then being able to do it yourself. And then now we're going to, like, you know, even YouTube stars and stuff like that. Like, that's an element of doing it yourself, learning on the job and stuff like that. So again, the adaptation is crazy. It's crazy.
And I think the reason it worked for you as well is because you were leading with love. Like, you started where you wanted to make sure that people felt good about themselves, and that's why you're getting all these opportunities and you're manifesting it really. So that's just, it's brilliant.
Big up you lot, man. Big up you,
man. For real, amazing.
I want people to like look at themselves and be like, yeah, that's me, and I look good. Like that for me is where I say that was a success. Like, everything else obviously is nice as a bonus, but I want someone to be able to recognize themselves, because it's like sometimes when you over manipulate a photo, it's like, okay, now or like for us girls, sometimes it's like, okay, because I've dressed up and I had like 10 layers of makeup, now I'm pretty, and it's like, no, I'm good. That's a bonus. Like, that's how I see it, and I want people to look at themselves and be like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's beautiful,
and I like
man.
it.
I respect that highly. That's a lovely thing, because it's funny, because I was even speaking to my missus the other day, and I was speaking to her about makeup. She said when she was younger she couldn't leave the house without it, but now she's quite naturally beautiful in it, so she doesn't wear a lot of makeup. But I was like, why? It's so dangerous. I think we was watching an advert, and it was about a young girl and filters, but she looked like a big woman. But every time she removed the filter, she was just a young girl, like maybe the age of 10 or 11 or something like that.
Nivea advert,
and I said, is it a Nivea advert? And I said to her, why does it have to be like this?
Yeah.
Like, why can't people just love themselves for who they are? Because there's a certain social construct on how a man and how a woman should look.
Like, but it is that, unfortunately.
It is, but
it's the pressure to all. You know, we all want to look a certain way.
Yeah,
it's a certain look everyone's trying to achieve. So it's really hard for women to, I guess, be comfortable in their own skin, because somebody's like, your skin doesn't look great, cover it up, and then you're like, no, your skin looks fine, and you're like,
it's very conflicting.
It's very hard, you know, because even for some men, it's like some men struggle with being short. You know? No, seriously, it's a real thing.
I'm so sorry.
You see, and people laugh.
He's gotta be 6 foot.
No, but this is what happens. This is what happens. No, I mean, it's funny, but it's not funny at the same time. You know, some people.
Smaller guys, I love you though.
You see,
I feel like it doesn't get. They don't get as much flowers.
They don't get.
But then that's why when they get money, they can act out because it's like.
I feel like they act out because they feel they have to. You know, because of all the.
And then that's what they call the short man syndrome, isn't it? Like, you
know, and then there's some like, you shouldn't really call people ugly, innit? Because no one's really ugly. Beauty is relative. But there's some guys out there that really do feel that they you know, they haven't got the height or they haven't got the looks that women want. You know, they haven't got. Some people can't go to bed. They haven't got the bed. It's unfortunate. And then they're just like, wow, what about me? Yeah. You know, and then they get money and then they act. It's true. Just like how some ladies, you know, will go under the knife to get BBL or you know, do certain things to enhance their bodies or look a certain way or hide behind makeup.
Don't have to do it.
But you have to ask yourself, why are you trying to fit into a box that's not meant for you? I think that's a question you constantly have to ask yourself.
I feel like it's programming. That's what I feel like.
It is programming, but you have to ask. You have to like take yourself out the matrix in a way.
You do, but it's very, very hard when you're around it all the time. For example, okay, put it just a prime example. 2 ladies, right, or two young women. One's naturally beautiful. One's maybe not as beautiful as her, but she's not ugly, right? This one has a curvy body, and this other person is quite slim, right? And then they both like this guy, this tall, dark and handsome guy with a beard or whatever. He chooses this girl or this lady that has the curves, and she's stunning. And then now this lady's feeling impressed because it's like, what has she got that I don't have? You know, so we kind of put ourselves in that position rather than, you know, being like, oh, I'm going to take myself out of that because this person has something that you want.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
But as you
it's the same with men and money and women. Like when you see other men on Instagram or on the internet living lavish lives, and then you hear the women that you like saying, you know, you need to have this amount of money to even speak to me, or you need to be able to do this and do that. It's a ongoing cycle that kind of traps you, and you feel like, you know, okay, in order for me to be able to get what I want, which I think will make me happy, not that I know, I have to do X, Y, and Z, and it's just a continuous sort of insidious cycle.
Some of these things that we carry in our brains, we developed from when we was young, and we didn't pay attention to it because we didn't know what it was. But then sometimes you notice that you might. You know, some people might have a certain preference, but why do you have that preference now that you're older? Do you know what I mean? You might be old enough to make an informed decision on that preference, but then, you know, there's a reason why you're I
have a theory about that with black people as well, but I'm not even going to go into
that. Like, we're also not taught to take a step back. Like, take time to take a step back and ask yourself, okay, this person has a preference for that past, and it doesn't mean I'm unattractive or I don't fit this quota. It's just that's a preference. And I think if people spent more time self-assessing and like trying to heal whatever's broken, we wouldn't be in, I guess, such a situation where, you know, people are like, oh, guys want girls with a big butt and girls want guys with money, because most of the time those people are not happy and they never show that.
It's true.
And that's the unfortunate thing, is that people love to show this
too many
facade.
Too many broken society, broken communities. Do you know what I mean? Families, sometimes you have a lot of single parent households or a lot of terrible things happening in the household where there's no love. Do you get what I'm saying? There's no one knows how to love themselves anymore. Everybody, all we know how to do is love material things or do you know what I mean?
So it's
others, you know. But I'm a firm believer you can't love other people if you don't know how to love yourself.
100%. I think one thing that people forget is that it's something that you have to constantly do. It's not just okay, I'm confident now, I don't need to work on it anymore.
You have to keep
you have to
reinventing yourself.
So I keep telling people, you know, I'm
keep doing it.
This
and
is
you have
it.
to. It's that one day that you might not be feeling yourself.
Yeah, you're
That's
growing
it.
every day.
Yeah.
So what happened to you yesterday might not happen to you today, but you learned something from
That's
it.
it. You
Take
know,
the time to learn from that lesson. But we all just want to rush through life and not learn
Cut corners.
anything.
literally, you
And just
know,
be like,
literally.
life sucks, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, life doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Life is a race, but you're not. You're racing with yourself. You're
Yeah,
not
that's
racing
it.
with. I'm not
That's
racing
it,
with Sade. I'm not racing with anyone.
You're in your
here.
own lane. That's
you're
it.
literally in your own lane,
Yeah.
and all the little bits just come in to say, do you want this? Do you not want this? And you
Literally.
can just
Yeah.
Do you know what I feel like it is as well?
it
Yeah,
out.
I feel like a lot of people are in love with the idea of things
Yes.
rather than how things actually work.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm married. I've been with my missus for a little while now, and it's taken time to build what we have. Whereas, you know, you have online, it's like the internet sensation. Oh, you know, I'm going on a vacation, or I want this kind of relationship. But people don't realize that it takes time to build these things. Learn the person that you're with.
It's what's being
understand
put in front
them.
of you, innit?
And this is what I'm trying to say. You know, it's the glamour.
Pushed on, like, you know, you go on Instagram, you see a quote that says, "On the talking stage, talk to me about vacations or something." It's like, how are you gonna go? And
But how do you
holiday
build
with
something
somebody you don't
meaningful?
know?
Why would you go on
Can't trust-
vacation with somebody you don't know?
And this is it. Do you know what I mean?
Stranger danger.
Exactly, you know what I mean?
I feel like people
Stranger
forget
danger.
to look at, because I look at Instagram now, and it's taken me a while to do it. Because I think when you're upset and then you look at Instagram, it just
Yeah, of course, it heightens your emotions.
everything.
Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah.
and vice versa. If you're
Yeah.
happy, you see something, oh god, they're cute.
Yeah.
And I feel like I just look at it for what it is. It's just an album. It's like, okay, Sean was in this country. He looked good. He's with, you know, he's this person, that person, friends, missus, whatever, and that's it. I'm not adding to, oh, Sean's life must be amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
yeah,
then I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
subtracting and be like, oh, he's just acting up because it's
It's
just,
what it is.
you know, and that's what I kind of expect people to be. If you see me on a beach in a bikini, that is it. It's just me, beach bikini, that is it. You don't know the ins and outs unless you speak to me.
don't know how you got
And
there or what.
when you try to look at things like that, you will actually just see it for what it is. Because like, you know, with Kanye, until I speak to Kanye, I kind of be like, yo, this plane, it took forever, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't know that from a picture unless you put it in a caption. And most people don't put that in a caption. Not that they should or they shouldn't, but that's down to that person. But just looking at it for what it is there and then, and putting a full stop until you speak to them or you know them.
I guess we've all moved away from pictures, where pictures were the authentic version of what was actually happening.
Yeah.
And now social media is that quick snapshot where you're constantly being fed, I'm on vacation. I've got money on the ground. I am BBLing.
It's that validation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh my gosh, I just got brain blank.
I was gonna say that even like, I miss like Kodak pictures, like like
capturing the
books,
moment.
and photo albums and stuff like that.
Oh, they're the best.
You know,
What's the other one? Polaroid. That's
And
the
it's
one.
crazy how like algorithms kind of control us, because we put our stuff on Instagram and stuff like that because we we want people to see it. Or we don't want, like, we want people that know us as well to see it and that. But if we put just still pictures on Instagram, not many people see it. If we put videos on Instagram, you know, more people see it. So then we start to put more videos and stuff like that, and we just end up basically following the line of the Matrix and stuff like that. So it's crazy how the algorithms are just trained to just
Literally.
make us fall in line.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
But I was gonna move on to the next topic as well.
What's that?
So how are you in a relationship?
I'm not in a
Okay.
relationship.
All right. Cool. So we've got different like aspects here.
Single by choice.
Important.
So I was gonna say,
Important.
how important is it for you to get along with your in-laws?
Let me let someone else speak.
From looking at it from a sister, I think it's important. Like when my older sister got married, her in-laws welcomed us.
Yeah.
It was quite difficult at first, but they were more welcoming. My mom was hostile. I was like, why are you being hostile? But the issue was because my brother-in-law was white, and my mom comes from a generation where that whole colonial betrayal was an issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like you have to get on with your in-laws, because if you bring children in, you want your kids to see everyone, not feel like, why aren't we speaking to Auntie Liv?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, Auntie Liv is terrible. Let the child figure that out themselves.
100%.
But that's my perspective from somebody looking from the outside in. I think it's important to have everyone at least amicable. To just be there for children.
It goes past just your relationship with your partner. It's you know, your children. When you're like, if your brother or your siblings are going to come over and chill with you in their environment, you want them to feel welcome, as welcome as you do, or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
That's the village aspect of it, because everyone thinks that when you say it takes a village, they think it's just you, your mom, and your sisters or your brothers. It's like everyone else, all the aunts, uncles, grand, other grands. It's all those people who count.
It's so important, because I think your family is an extension of you. So it's difficult, because if you don't get along, it's for those two people to stay together, they have to be able to either find boundaries, or B, deal with it, which is very difficult, because how do you, again, you go to so and so's house, but then what, do you not feed your partner's mum, or or like how does it work?
Like you're not feel welcome.
Exactly, and it makes you a bit resistant to things that you have to celebrate, like birthdays and kids' birthdays and whatever holidays, and decisions as well that are part of it. So like maybe how Black people always get involved in their children's like weddings and stuff like that. There's decisions to be made as like, it's their wedding, but I call the shots a little bit in here and there. So there needs to be some sort of getting along somewhere.
I mean, listen, being married myself, right? Getting on with your in-laws, for me, is the most important thing ever, because we have to remember, like you said, your family is an extension of you. And it's your union between you and your partner is, but your two families ultimately are coming together. No, I'm not gonna say that. I just think it's really important, because how can you possibly be happy in a relationship if you're a family person, but both your families don't get on? Like how could you? So. I know some people might have different opinions,
but let me let
I think I've been on both sides of it. I've been on the side where I thought someone, and it's not that they didn't like me. I've been with someone where I thought their family did like me, and then I've also been with someone where I know their family actually likes me. And then originally, first time round, I realised that it was all fine until it now became a thing where they felt like my relationship with said person was going to mean that we're going to go off and do things together, like we're going to go off and build a life together. And you slowly start to realise that people have their own agendas with things. It's so difficult. Like having now experienced meeting someone and then their in-laws actually like you, it's such
it's healthy.
Relaxing feeling. It's so nice healthy. To be around. It's so healthy.
It's just you're not battling. Like it's an unnecessary battle. Do you know what I mean? Like you're not having to fight this person and that person. When you're just chill, you can be on like in another area and you just relax. It's just.
I think about. Do you know how nice it is to know that like your mother is speaking to your other. You don't even know what they're talking. You don't even know that we've spoken. Or they're going out. Or like you're speaking to her older brother and she doesn't even know that you've spoken. And you're having your own, you have your own relationship, and then it's like, okay, now we're actually really family now. We're quite close, and we're building something. I think it's important. I know. So
I was going to ask you then. So obviously you're married. So if say your mother-in-law, like just for whatever reason, just did not like you, would you just stay, because obviously you love your missus dearly? Would you stay with her just because you'd go?
Not a lot of people know this, but I've been married twice.
Okay. Really?
From my young age, I've been married twice, and I've been in that situation before, and it makes things so difficult because what happens is your problems in the home now becomes everyone's problems. If you're dealing with someone that's toxic, they'll go and spin something that's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
And then somebody has their own idea of you. And now all of a sudden the good person that you was is now tarnished because they've lied about you and now they're dealing with you differently. Do you get what I'm saying? So it affects your relationship, it affects your home life, it affects you as a person. Do you know what I mean? So my personal opinion would be no. I know others have decided, you know, to leave their families and start their own life. Yeah. And fair enough. If that's for you, that's for you. I'm personally, I'm a family man. Yeah. I can't leave my family because of the attachments that I have, the responsibilities I have, the duties that I have, you know. Yeah. So my family come part of me. Yeah. It's part of the parcel, you know. So for me it's really important that both sides get on together because then it's more healthy. You're creating something healthy, especially like sorry, I forgot her name. Kanye. I'm so sorry. Okay. I'm really bad with names. Especially like how Kanye said, Kanye. Especially like Kanye said, it takes a village to raise a child. Yeah. And if both families are not getting on and you bring children into this world, where's the love? Yeah. You're already raising a broken child. They're going to be confused. They're going to think, why can't I play with my cousins over there? Or why can't I go to my granddad's house over there? It's not nice. You're just creating chaos. But when everyone gets on together and they're healthy, the relationship's healthy, you start raising children in love. You start raising better people. You start... you know, creating your own legacy. Do you get where I'm coming from? Creating better people.
Well. So I saw a quote. Sorry, I didn't want to.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
I saw a quote of something like, "When two elephants fight, it's only the grass that suffers."
My dad told me that. My dad told me.
What does that mean?
Yeah. As in, like when two elephants are fighting, it's only the grass. It's the children that suffer. Of elephants fighting. Two families.
Okay, that makes sense.
My dad told me that. So for context, my parents aren't together, but they get along now. But that's something that he told me in the thick of it when that was happening, and you know, and questions about divorce and things like that. And he's like, no, like this is the impact that that has on the children. And I think people don't really understand that there's sort of an emotional and psychological safety. That gets broken when families don't get along, especially when it's to do. Look, Romeo and Juliet. We learnt this at school. We know what happens. That's a prime example of families clashing and not getting along because of this and that. And I think the person whose parent doesn't like the other person feels it the most. I think both couples do, but both parts of the couple do. But the person that's attached to like the partner and the parent that have that clash, it's worse for them because it's like they now can't feel like they have to separate two main things that they love. And that's must be such a difficult thing to be a part of.
This is what I think is a problem with society today as well, because you can come from a single parent home and be filled with love, but if your parents don't get on, you now don't know your other side of the family. Like for me, I grew up in a single parent household. I had a stepdad for a while, but you know, that didn't really work out. We never really had a close relationship anyway, so I was just in limbo with who's my dad kind of thing. And I don't really know that side of my family. And as I'm an adult now, I'm 30 now, I'm like, I'm okay, but growing up, I know it definitely had an effect on me, especially going football and you see all the other kids with their dads and they're helping them, but you're traveling from God knows where to go to so far places, and you're there with another group of boys who are fatherless. Do you get what I'm saying? It has an effect on you, and then before you know it, you're doing things in society that you shouldn't be doing because you're looking for attention, or you haven't got that sort of support network. Do you get what I'm saying? If your parents are not together, but you know both sides of the family, you find that person has a different type of love in them rather than not knowing one side of the family, which is why I reckon, which is why I've been married twice and the last time, because I've always tried to create that sort of family network that maybe I never really had. Do you get what I'm saying? To an extent. So I'm trying to create that and create my own sort of legacy so that, you know, like Christmas time when families are together, everyone's together, it's nice. I want to create that again. Like, you know, I've got my brothers, I've got good friends. Do you get what I'm saying? Family barbecues, it's our time now, you know.
But it also takes, like what I'm learning now that I'm older is that I have to almost parent my parent. I've had to parent my mom a lot to get her to have a better relationship with my brother-in-law. And you know, because he's been like olive branch and she's like
Yeah.
I don't want your
Like the
man.
older generation.
Pain runs deep, you know.
And I'm
Pain
just
runs
like,
deep.
No. He's really nice. He loves your daughter. Look, they've got 2 children. But it's just like, yes, my grandchildren. But she's like, no. So it's one of those things that I've realized that to create that culture of family, you have to fix it. I know lots of people want to just pray and hope that their families merge, but there'll be situations where you are truly in love and you found your life partner and families don't get along. I think it's the people in the family who need to fix it, not you who just got married because you found each other. Now why are we in this we have to now go to them and say, you need to figure out what your qualm is and squash it, because there's no point of us being in this situation and you're like, I never want to talk to them, or I think I'm better than that person. You just have to be like, hey guys, we're now a family now,
if you like it or not.
What do you like? Oh, you like bingo, I like bingo too. Let's go to bingo.
No, that's a good point that you're making, you know. Despite everything I said, that's very, 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 very true. In the sense of, even if you are with somebody and your families don't get along, if you have good people in your family, it's down to, like you said, you know, you're being your sister's keeper. You're talking to your mum and trying to say, look, mum, come on now. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, come on, come on. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's really important. But that comes down to family again. How good is your family? We have to be honest, you know. There's some people in my family that
they're not easy.
I don't want my missus to meet them. Do you get what I'm saying?
They're
Like,
not easy. They're not easy.
You know,
it's in the word. It's family. If it's family, you'll do everything to, I guess, fix it. And yes, it's hard when you have hard-headed people in your family. But I guess you just have to approach them with caution and smile.
That's it. That's
Hi.
true. That's true.
Man.
And then just be like, bye. See you in 3 months.
Exactly. Like someone I was speaking to said that, you know, there's family members, family are your family. You don't have to cut them off. But there's some people that rather than spending 2 days with them, you can just spend 2 hours. That's it. You know, it's just like that. But yeah, man. So again, we come to the end of episode.
Oh man, you guys have to come back again.
We have to do this again.
Definitely have to do this again. Guys, you want to shout out anyone, your socials?
You first. Sade did that, or spelled like shade. Did
that.
I'll put that all up. Shade
and
that.
I'm 𝐤𝐤𝐤 Musa. Hopefully it'll be somewhere.
I'll put that up.
We'll put it up. I'm gonna follow you guys now.
Oh, thank you.
But
man.
So it's spelled THU.
Can't do this afterwards.
THU.
No, because then they can hear it on the pod.
But they're gonna see it though.
Yeah, but you can still hear it. THU.
THU again.
Understand that?
Every week I listen to the pod.
KA. Sorry.
This guy.
KANI.
Is this right? Yeah.
You know what? I didn't expect Dan to have like the flip case. You know,
He definitely.
You allow me, bro.
Like he's gonna.
I had it on my iPhone 5, you know.
You know when you look at the phone like this.
Don't take the mick out of my stigmatism.
Nah, man. But you've been here with Shorts.
You've been here with Aaron.
Been a DCB,
aka
Chargy D,
aka
Angle Man Dan.
Hey, love it.
Done already.
You know, I always wanted to say that. I listen to the pod. I'm like, is that in the back?
You said that.
I want to get involved.
We love that, man.
Like, comment, subscribe, all of them
man,
things.
All of that.
We'll
follow
be back,
our
man.
special guests as well.
Yeah,
big up.
follow them up.
I just followed.
We need you back.
Alright, blessings. We're out.
Yeah.
Hey.
Lovely.
So just follow. So actually, I'll do it.
Clap.
Bro, I'm making something. Bro, am I moving mad?
Yeah. You trying to run it now?
No.